Hello, my friends. Welcome to Bible and Revelations, episode 45C. Right now I'm doing the commentary on Genesis 24. Genesis 24 was unusually long. It was about Abraham sending his servant to find a suitable husband for his, a suitable wife for his son Isaac. He specifically did not want a Canaanite, and God handled the whole situation. He brought Abraham's servant went to a well, met a beautiful young lady who was not a Canaanite, and Isaac had many camels loaded down with gold, 20 camels with gold and all kinds of valuables. And he asked her, he wanted to find a kind woman. She was beautiful, she was kind, she was a virgin, and she was not a Canaanite. So he was pretty sure, he was absolutely sure that this was the woman Yahweh wanted to marry Isaac. She would be the mother of many generations of Jews. Let's continue. With the notes. Rebecca was the woman, the beautiful young virgin that Abraham's servant decided was the right woman for Isaac. And Rebecca's brother Laban was impressed by the objects of wealth this servant had brought with him, from the jewelry to the camels. After Rebecca had passed the test of offering him water and the extreme kindness of watering his 20 camels, then he chose her to be the wife of Isaac. He wanted a kind woman as well. Also, that was the stipulation of the woman Yahweh would have picked out for Isaac. He prayed to Yahweh. And Rebecca's brother Laban was very impressed. And back then, only the very affluent owned camels. So they knew he was a man of wealth. And Laban, seeing an opportunity to improve his own situation, he invited the servant to stay at his house. Laban's materialism and opportunism resurfaced in a subsequent chapter. The servant of Abraham recounted the events that had brought him before Laban and Bethuel. Bethuel was Rebekah's father. Readers today may not understand at the repetition in these stories, but the text was originally written to be read aloud. They keep going over the same things again, that Abraham's servant prayed to Yahweh for a woman that would be kind and offer him water, and a woman that would be kind enough to water his camels. They says it 3 or 4 times in the chapter. But some people believe that repetition was made so that the story would be more memorable to uneducated people that did not read but only heard the scriptures from people that could read. But with the family's approval secured, the servant gave them valuable gifts of betrothal, which served as a dowry. Although Rebekah knew nothing about Isaac, She knew that God had led the servant to Abraham to her. So according to custom, she agreed to go. Abraham's servant gave them great wealth, gold and spices and clothes. So Rebekah, in faith to Yahweh, she left everything that was familiar to her and went to venture to an unknown place. Totally on faith. And this kind of mirrors the action that Abraham and Sarah had when they went to an unknown place, trusting only in God. The brief blessing echoes the words of the covenant given to Abraham in 22:17. The gates of walled cities were their weakest points, and therefore the principal focus of attack. To control the gates was to control the city. The importance of the paragraph lies in the disposition of gifts. Abraham made sure there would be no dispute over his goods after he died. He showed great responsibility here. It is very important to make sure that your belongings, your real estate, your bank accounts, and businesses go to your children or grandchildren and not be stolen by other people. It takes a little care, and a person should I recently learned this from experience of a close friend of mine. This should be wrapped up before a person is like 82, because when they get in their 90s, they're not thinking straight. And in the case that I know personally, they lost hundreds of thousands of dollars due to improper planning and in the overzealous way that one of the children wanted to get all the money as fast as possible. They lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's just a shame. So it should be up to the person to organize it correctly, so that his children and grandchildren get his or her belongings, and not just going to strangers or renters or neighbors, which I've seen. The first one on the scene usually gets a lot of stuff. So, it's good to plan. The importance of the paragraph lies in Abraham, great responsibility to make sure his will is well organized. This is a legacy for any Christian. Abraham walked with God for 100 years, and when he died at the age of 175, Isaac was 75. While Jacob and Esau were 15. Despite a history of bad feelings, his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried their father together as brothers. Full of years can be rendered satisfied, meaning Abraham not only lived long enough but well enough and was ready to die. This was a fulfillment of the Lord's covenant with him. And this sentence, was gathered to his people, speaks of blessed reunions in the life to come. When my grandmother died, she was seeing her parents, her grandparents, and she was talking to them as she was dying. I was right there, and she was looking up at the ceiling and naming them and talking to them, and she had been in pain all day from the cancer. But as she was dying, she was totally happy and pain-free. And she was talking to her parents and grandparents who had come to get her and to take her to heaven. So this happens to Christians. So full of years can be rendered as satisfied. And was gathered to his people speaks of blessed reunions and the life to come. So when you come, you are greeted by your family that has died before you. The inclusion of Ishmael's genealogy demonstrates that the Lord continued to love and care for Abraham's first son, even though Isaac was the son of the covenant. The genealogy of Isaac is the focus of the narrative, so the story follows the lives of Isaac and Rebekah's two sons, Esau and Jacob. This is the family of promise. The divine word to Rebekah, that the older shall serve the younger, not only explained the unusual movements but she felt in her womb, but also foretold the reversal of patriarchal custom. I'll have to end right here because of the way my videos cut out.